Introduction to Financial Markets. Here, we're going to look at key issuers and investors and how capital flows move from one to the other. Let's start by taking a look at the key participants in the financial markets. First, we have individuals. These are families, households, people like you and me. Then we have corporations. These are companies that make things. And then we have governments. Here, I'm grouping all levels of government together: federal, state, and local. And let's create a balance sheet for these groups. A balance sheet has two sides: assets and liabilities. Assets for things that you own, and liabilities for things that you owe. How you fund these assets. On the asset side, you have physical assets, things that you own that you can touch and feel. And then you have financial assets, cash and investments that you see on a bank statement. So, starting with individuals. You have physical assets such as your house. You also have a car, and then you have things like clothing and shoes. So I'll call this group houses, cars, and stuff. And then you have companies that make this stuff. So GM makes this orange Corvette. And then you'll need a factory like the one that you see here. And then you'll also need inventory to finance all these cars before they're sold. So for companies, this inventory and factories are the physical assets that they have on their balance sheet. Other terms that you'll hear is working capital for inventory, which includes receivables from the dealers that may have bought these cars but not yet paid for them, as well as capital expenditures, or CapEx, which is an accounting term for the spend to build these assets like factories. And the final group is governments. For assets, they build these highways, like these interstate highways that you see here that help get the Corvettes from the factory in Kentucky to the consumers on Wall Street. I'm going to lump their physical assets together into a category called infrastructure. So, how is this all financed? For individuals, we have mortgages on our house, auto loans on our cars, and credit cards for stuff like shoes. Companies use loans, bonds, and equity, which is just another word for stock, to finance their working capital and CapEx. Governments primarily use bonds, but they can also print money or currency to pay for their spending. On the financial assets side, individuals have a number of different assets. They have deposits at a bank, they have investment accounts, they have retirement plans, and they have insurance plans. It's a similar mix for companies. They also have deposits at a bank. They also have investments. And some have pension plans as well. Governments have a central bank, which we'll talk about a little bit more later on. And governments also have pension plans for their employees or pension plans for the general population. And governments also have investment accounts, which can range from a modest cash investment account for a small government to a large sovereign wealth fund, which can make a variety of different investments. We just finished looking at key participants in the financial markets. In the next video, we'll discuss the role of the buy side and sell side in financial markets. We'll see you in the next video.